Application Example 8. Override Function, Range Limitation. One scenario for sunshade devices could be a limitation that the shade cannot be completely opened or completely closed within a certain period of time. With the applications available so far, this would not be possible, or at least only with complex external logic. Here, you will now learn how easy it is to implement with the SSA N543 and what you need to pay attention to. Go to the list of overrides once more. In an unused override, select the option Range Limitation. Then open the page of this override and determine how it should work. As with any override, there is the behavior on activation as well as on deactivation. For example, in order to immediately drive the sunshade within the permissible limits when activated, the drive to nearest limit parameter must be selected. On this occasion, it should be pointed out once again that the priorities of all 7 overrides correspond to their ordinal number. Overrides of higher ordinal numbers have priority over those with lower numbers. In the 2 lines upper limit and lower limit, you enter the values between which the sun protection may still move. In the example shown here, the blind can only be moved between 20% and 70% curtain height. The activation of such an override is usually done by a central time switch, but can of course also be manually controlled at any time, for example via buttons. Then we should also consider making the status of this override visible, for example as an LED flashing function on the operating button, marked accordingly. Now we can create and connect the required group addresses again, and we're good to go. Or is there something else to consider? Right. For those who look closely, they might have seen that the wind alarm was configured as the first override. The range limitation is the second. So it has priority over the wind alarm. In the event of a wind alarm with active range limitation, the blind only moves up to 20%. Solution: either define the upper limit of the range limitation to 0%, or you set the wind alarm above the range limitation. This brings us to the end of our training module, Range Limitation. You now know what range limitation is, how to configure and use it, and that you always have to consider it in conjunction with the other possible overrides, especially the wind alarm. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Up next, the application example, Delay Time for Central Up-Down Control.